Right. It is time to talk about the final class for theory crafting before Alterac Valley launches. So, hey everyone, I'm Dawn, also known as Dragon Rider. Let's get into these warrior decks. I do think that some variation of some fairly aggressive quest pirate warrior that we've already been seeing is probably still going to be in the meta and might still be better than some of these, but might depend on what else is going to come out in the meta. So the first deck that I have here is Rush Warrior, and it's similar to the Rush Warrior that we've had before, but I did change some things up. Not sure if it's going to be better than what we've had in the past or not. Like the last deck as well, there's tons of Rush minions, and I also wanted to include a lot of draw and cycle mechanics because this deck is fairly low curve. To draw and cycle, I included Stage Dive, the Blacksmithing Hammer. You could trade that if you need to. Cutting Class that can also work with that hammer, and Ringmaster Watley to draw specific minions out of the deck as well. And then I still wanted to kind of make this a fairly aggressive deck. So I kind of went with a more potential face type of damage package with Captain Galvangar, Mr. Smite, and Gromash Hellscream at the top end. I don't know if that one's going to work out quite as well as what I hope. It might be a little too slow, but that again is going to have to see with the meta. That one could get cut for another rush minion or some other type of earlier game card. But I enjoyed playing some Rush Warrior in the past, so I kind of hope something like this kind of comes back a little bit. And now let's get into the second deck here. This one I put together more of kind of a control type warrior, but it's going to have a little bit of a twist on it. It's not kind of like the control warrior we've seen in the past where it just does nothing and then waits for the opponent to just kind of concede. It doesn't rely on fatigue. I've got a different idea that I'll talk about, but there is still a lot of removal and armor gain, like a typical slower kind of control oriented list. The thing that I kind of changed with this that I was referencing is closing out the game. So again, it's not going to be relying on getting to fatigue or just like running your opponent out of stuff. I kind of did want to actually include a little bit of a package that I think can help close out games. So I put in some more mid later game tools like Captain Galvangar, Mutinous, Troublemaker, and Rattlegore for minions that are going to be a little bit more difficult for some decks to remove or deal with or answer. But here's the thing is that I actually did want to include Rakara, our new hero card for Warrior, because I think she might actually be able to help close out games in addition to all those big threat minions. I think she can be pretty flexible. If your opponent is running some big minions, you can use that weapon to hit into a big minion. Again, there's already a lot of armor gain and things like that in the deck, so you can probably afford to actually swing into big minions. Then that big minion will hit your opponent's face. Or if your opponent is running smaller minions or doesn't have any minions on the board, that's still a 5 damage weapon that you can just send to their face anyways for some damage. You also basically get the equivalent of a hero power from Hunter with the new hero power. So you're getting that hero Hunter power for an additional 2 damage that you can send wherever you want. So you can send that face for additional face damage. Or if you need to be a little bit more reserved, you can try to kill some minions with it and gain armor. But I think between the couple of weapons in here and her weapon, plus that additional damage, switching gears from just armor to damage and potential armor, I think that's going to be a huge swing to be able to actually start closing out games. So let me know in the comments below, what kind of warrior are you looking forward to playing? Are you going to try something like this? You're just going to continue playing a more aggressive pirate quest version? What do you think is going to happen with warrior? What are you going to be playing? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to check out any of the other Theorycraft videos that I did, check that entire playlist there for all of those in one place. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.